Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our brilliant viewers, Scoopy Susie. Thanks for the sweet suggestion, Susie. You asked, why is ice cream sometimes called a sundae? If you've ever sat down with a cold, syrupy masterpiece topped with a cherry and thought, who decided to name this like a day of the week? You're not alone. And no, it's not because Sunday is the official day of naps and poor dietary choices. Today, we're digging into a story filled with religious drama, old-timey laws, soda fountains, and one seriously controversial cherry. So grab a spoon, loosen your moral code, and let's get the scoop behind the sundae, right here on Explaining Everything. Let's rewind to the late 1800s. Back when electricity was new, people rode horses for fun and transport, and ice cream was already the Beyoncé of desserts. Back then, one of the most popular treats was the good old ice cream soda. That's ice cream in a glass of carbonated soda water, topped with syrup. Basically, a milkshake with commitment issues. People were obsessed. They loved it. They slurped it up at soda fountains, which were like the Starbucks of their time, minus the Wi-Fi and sad playlists. But here comes the twist. Some places had what were called blue laws, which were local rules meant to keep Sundays extra holy. And I mean really holy. These laws banned things like drinking, shopping, working, and yes, even ice cream soda. Why? Because adding bubbles to ice cream was apparently too wild for the Lord's Day. Can't have people sinning with root beer floats before church. So the soda jerks, those were the people working the soda fountains, not a comment on their personalities, had to get creative. If soda was banned on Sundays, then they'd just skip the soda. That's it. Just plop some ice cream in a dish, pour syrup on top, and boom, no carbonation, no sin. Just a delicious workaround for morality. This clever hack gave birth to what we now call the ice cream sundae. That's right, the sundae exists because people were trying to dodge religious laws. It is literally a dessert born out of loopholed holiness. That brings us to another question. Why spell it Sunday with an E at the end instead of just using the actual day of the week? There are two main theories. First, some towns may have changed the spelling on purpose to avoid offending religious folks. They didn't want the dessert to seem tied to the Sabbath, even if it was clearly invented because of it. The second theory is more fun. Marketing. Spelling it Sunday just looked fancy. It made the dessert seem more like a special treat and less like a legal loophole in a bowl. You know, like how calling something artisan automatically makes it cost more and come in a smaller portion. Now, as with all great inventions, everybody wanted credit. And this is where things get messy. The town of Ithaca, New York, claims that they invented the sundae in 1892. According to their story, a local priest didn't approve of soda being sold on Sundays, so a pharmacist named Chester Platt served ice cream with syrup instead, and ta-da, a tradition was born. But hold the cherry. Two Rivers, Wisconsin, says they did it first. They claim that back in 1881, a guy named George Hallower asked his buddy, a drugstore owner named Edward Berner, for ice cream with chocolate syrup. Normally, syrup was only for sodas, but George wanted to live a little. Edward gave it a try, and it became a hit. So now we've got two towns, both waving their spoons in the air, insisting they were first. It's the Cold War of cold desserts, and to this day, no one's really sure who invented the sundae. It's basically the who wore it better of dessert history. Regardless of where it started, the sundae took off like a sugar-fueled rocket. People started adding whipped cream, nuts, and eventually that tiny, shiny maraschino cherry, a fruit that's been chemically altered so much it's basically a candy cosplaying as a fruit. If you've ever wondered why sundaes seem so over the top, it's because they were always meant to be a little rebellious. You couldn't have soda on Sundae. Fine, drown your ice cream in fudge instead. You couldn't have fizzy fun? You'd triple the toppings and double the syrup just to make a point. The sundae is less of a dessert and more of a sugary act of civil disobedience. Over the years, sundaes evolved. We got banana splits, brownie sundaes, caramel turtle sundaes, even sundaes so big they require a friend, a nap, and a waiver. Fast food chains started selling mini versions, while hipster dessert shops started charging $12 for one in a mason jar with gold flakes and emotional baggage. There are even healthy sundaes now. Vegan sundaes, keto sundaes, sundaes made with frozen yogurt that tastes like regret. We've come a long way from the original simple dish of vanilla ice cream and chocolate syrup. But through all that evolution, one thing remains the same. The sundae is a testament to human ingenuity. We wanted dessert. The law said no, and instead of giving up, we got creative. We found a way to make our sweet dreams come true, without bubbles, but with extra fudge. So the next time you sit down to eat a sundae, remember, you're not just enjoying ice cream. You're taking part in a dessert that defied laws, dodged sin, sparked town rivalries, and changed the way we top our frozen treats. If you enjoy this video, or if you're now craving a sundae, please like and subscribe. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.